again. Hello. Hey, podcast documentary guy. I'm going blank right now, sorry. Mark. Good to see you, Mark. We didn't get to meet yet. Yeah, I've been busy all day. So if you guys didn't know, Mark is shooting a documentary on podcasting. He's been interviewing people all day and is here to cover the Podcast Awards too, the 9th annual Podcast Awards. Thank you all for coming. For those of you that were here last year, you may notice we're in a bigger room this time, on the big stage where the podcasters belong. And we plan to be even bigger next year for the 10th annual Podcast Awards. I'm not going to take a lot of time because we ran over with the last speaker, other to say how important the podcasting community is to New Media Expo and to me personally, and how excited we are to be hosting the Podcast Awards. And really, when we finally got it right for the podcasting community is when I had a phone call with Cliff Ravenscraft and asked him to become our director of podcasting, and thankfully he said yes. And also thankfully Todd said yes when I asked him to let us host the Podcast Awards. So without further ado, please welcome Cliff Ravenscraft.
Well, guys, I wanted to say something. Blogging, podcasting, and web TV. You know, this was formerly Blog World, but these folks at this conference have really wanted to bring the podcasting community here in a big way. And they have shown their love for podcasting in ways that I can't even explain, and I certainly don't have time to tell you here tonight. But I just will tell you that going from small rooms, because honestly, in NYC, Blog World NYC 2012, we had a small podcast crowd. But look at this room today. And last year we had bigger rooms, but 2 of them, and this year we have even greater sized rooms, and we have 3 of them. And last year the Podcast Awards were in the room over there. We were standing room only. Now look at this. Podcasting is amazing. And you guys are amazing, and I am so excited that you are here, and I thank each and every one of you. And I also want to thank Todd Cochran for being such a supporter of the podcasters from the very beginning, and who spent all those years doing the Podcast Awards from his studio online. And I'm so thrilled that he also brought those Podcast Awards here last year, and that we're here again tonight. And now I want to go ahead and welcome Todd Cochran. Thank you.
Was everybody motivated with the last speaker? I think we're going to get everybody really motivated tonight and have a lot of fun. But I want everyone to tweet right now using hashtag PCA13. Tell people to watch the Podcast Awards online at podcastawards.com with the hashtag PCA13. Hey, this awards would not be possible, really. You know, the trophies are sitting on the table. It's really costs a lot of money. And you'll see down front, some of the nominees this year actually ordered their own trophies, and we're going to make that available to nominees again at the end of the awards tonight. But the trophies that are up here were brought to us by the sponsors. But I want to thank New Media Live, or New Media Expo, for having us this year again for the awards. And most importantly, the 48 podcast reviewers listeners that spent about 6 to 8 hours each reviewing the 220 nominees. Actually, they reviewed about 400 to 500 podcasts before we came up with the 220 nominees. So those listeners are really what makes this Podcast Awards about, because it is the People's Choice Podcast Awards. So, you know, they did the slate review, site grading, the content review, and really it was a lot of work for them, and we appreciate them. And I hope you guys can all give them a clap. If they're watching or listening, we want to thank them. But as I was saying, the trophies cost a lot of money. So we raise money for servers, for all the stuff that goes on. But this year, we did it. We hit our goal for raising money. And I want to thank the following 2 corporate sponsors. I'm going to call them to come up and say hi. First off, of course, is Cliff. with Podcast Answer Man. He stepped up with his own cash and become a corporate sponsor. You know, he's doing the great things here at New Media Expo. He also wrote a check. So, Cliff, come on out. We want to thank, wrote a check, folks. We really appreciate it. So, Cliff, this was your second year for sponsoring. So, tell people where to go to find out about Podcast Answer Man if you don't already know.
Well, surprisingly, it would be at podcastanswerman.com. But for those of you who are watching on the live stream and are not yet podcasters, I encourage you to go to learnhowtopodcast.com. It's an absolutely free podcast tutorial, and it's not even a lead generator. I don't even ask for your email address. I'll never know that you're there, but over 55,000 people have gone through my best tutorial I've ever created in my life, and it's at learnhowtopodcast.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Cliff. And so we were a little bit behind, and so I did a tweet. We need a sponsor. And the folks from CashFly responded to a tweet and said, what's this all about? Send us the info. I know we have a couple of reps here from CashFly. If they'll come up, and they stepped up in a big way, and we want to thank them for being a corporate sponsor. As well as the CashFly folks here? They're not, but check them out at cashfly.com. They said they were going to be here. Oh, they're there. Okay, sorry. So I'll go ahead. So thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
On behalf of CashFly, we'd like to say we're very pleased to sponsor the Podcasting Awards by providing lightning-fast downloads. So congratulations to all the nominees and award recipients. Thank you.
Thank you. So, and for many years, the corporate sponsors kind of disappeared. And who carried us for, 3 or 4 years were actually podcasters. So I know some of those podcasters are here. I'm going to read their names out. I want them to stand up. If the hosts from Comedy Forecast, Music Radio Creative, Brain Science Podcast, The Nursing Show, Golden Spiral Media, Dishing Bitches, Podcasters Roundtable, Livelihood Show, School of Podcasting, Journal Talk, and my own show, Geek News Central. So thank you for the podcasters that stepped up with cash this year as well. That's greatly appreciated. So the Podcast Awards wouldn't be the Podcast Awards without some drama. And we have some drama tonight. Dr. Drew, sadly, was stuck in New York. Yeah, the snow did him in. So New Media folks, I mean, they went a long ways to get Dr. Drew here, and he would have been here if the weather wouldn't have held him up. But they went and found another fantastic celebrity to host and be our MC tonight. So I want to welcome to the stage David H. Lawrence, the 17th. He's going to be our MC tonight. Please give him a warm round of applause.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Okay, all right. So first thing we're going to do is evoke Dr. Drew. Who has a sexual problem? No, really. Anybody, yell it out. What was that? Lack of? There's an app for that. I'm really happy to be here. I was asked last night at the last minute when they found out that Dr. Drew couldn't make it in, and I said, why? I don't have a thing to wear. And, but it's Vegas. Honest to God, you can get a tuxedo with matching shoes at noon on Sunday in Vegas, which I did. I've been podcasting for a long time. I actually haven't been podcasting for about 4 years. As soon as I got Heroes, I had to kind of give up some things in my life because I got a little busy with the acting thing. But I'd been podcasting since 1994. Before RSS, before enclosures, before MP3 was the standard, I used what was then called progressive networks. Anybody know what progressive networks is called now? Speak it. Listen, do we have to have lessons on how to call things out here? You guys are podcasters. Raise your voice. What is it? Real audio, real networks, exactly. I was on the old Edison server. They had named their servers after people who were pioneers in the world of audio. And I remember figuring out, now this is the only room that I can tell this story in. Okay, So how many of you know how many bits pass on an internet connection? Is it 7 or 8? How many of you know? It is not 8, it is 7. 7 bits, the old EBDIC standard. And so everything has to be converted to 7 bits to transmit across the internet. So in the old days, the limit on AOL, and I don't know if you remember Excite at Home, the limit on attachments for email was 1 megabyte. Today it's what, 25, 30 with Google and almost everybody else? So 1 megabyte. The only way I could send audio to people was via an attachment. So I sat down and did the math to figure out how long I could talk before the file size was 778K, which would then be converted to 1 megabyte when it was encoded for the internet. And that time was 10 minutes and 47 seconds. And do you know, for the next 12,000 episodes of the Personal Netcast, after every radio show I did, every hour, every single one of them was 10 minutes and 47 seconds because I built myself a bed that was exactly that long with an intro of about 30 seconds, 10 minutes of silence, and then a play-out theme of about another 10 seconds. And so for years, that was it. Isn't it strange how that story has absolutely no punchline whatsoever, and you had to suffer through it? I thought for sure the nerds in the room would go, oh my God, he's a math geek. Was he on the mathletes? Was he on the math team? So I've been podcasting for a long time. Some people consider me to be one of the very first podcasters. I think Brian Cooley was podcasting on CNET at the time as well. Same method, enclosures by email attachments. And boy, have we come a long way, haven't we? How many of you, when you think of podcasts, think just of audio? Most of you think of video, right? Who would have thought that even 5, 10 years ago, we could transmit as much video across the internet as we can, and that it would be as glorious as it possibly could be? I love podcasters. I love bloggers. I love video people. I love all the people in this room. When I come here, I feel like I'm at home. And tonight, we're celebrating the very best of our family. Tonight, with the podcasts, with the Podcast Awards, we are celebrating the very best of 2013. Here's some facts about that. 31 million page views in 6 weeks. 8,121,000, not 8 million, but 8,121,000 total show nominations. 4,400 shows nominated. How can you possibly consume all that? 11,860,280 ballots voted. That's amazing. And we're going to kick into the awards here tonight in just a few moments. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I want to thank you for not booing me when I came out on stage and I wasn't Dr. Drew. I want to thank you for bearing with us as we try to pick up some steam here, and let's start the nominations. What do you say? Yep. All I've got is, I promise I will.
Flip the slide.
There we go. All right. First award is for Best Video Podcast. Best Video Podcast. Here are your nominees. Film Riot, Frame Rate, Geek Beat TV. Hi, Kelly. iPad 365, iPad Today, Not Safe for Work, NSFW. Rob Has a Podcast. Rooster Teeth. Now we're getting some people involved. Come on. Let me just back up a second. Raise your hand. Okay. Rooster Teeth Podcast, The Art of Photography, and The Young Turks. And the winner is Rob Has a Podcast. Thank you so much. Oh, and it's replete with music, award-winning music. Hey, man, how are you? Nice to see you.
Thank you. Oh boy, is this on?
Yep.
Hey, if you guys like giving me awards, can I get your hands up and can I get an oh yeah? Thank you so much. I have to start out and thank the Rob Has a Podcast community. You guys are so amazing. You guys are my rock, and not the white kind that you get during a tie at tribal council. It's a Survivor joke. Thank you to everybody who did the video podcast with me, notably Stephen Fishback and everybody behind the scenes at Rob Has a Podcast, Scott St. Pierre and Jessica Frey, and everybody who produced the show. But most of all, thank you to my amazing wife, who very rarely complains about my podcasting all the time. She is the best. A year ago, her and I came here for New Media Expo. We had an amazing time. 9 months later, we brought a very amazing little boy into this world this year. Amazing things happen here in Vegas at New Media Expo. Thank you guys so much. And I want to take an award selfie. Has anybody done that before?
Are you kidding? They're all going to take award selfies.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Rob
You guys
Has
are
a
the best.
Podcast.
Thank you.
Apparently, Rob doesn't have any sexual problems. Just saying. All right, in the business category, here we go. Beyond the to-do list. DH Unplugged. Entrepreneur on Fire. Income Press Podcast. Livelihood Show Manager Tools. NPR Planet Money Podcast. Smart Passive Income Podcast. The Engaged Brand, who used to be just dating but now is engaged. The Suitcase Entrepreneur, and the winner is NPR Money Planet Podcast. Oh, no, there's no booing here. You guys can take that booing outside. How many of you want to boo? Raise your hand, say oh yeah. All right. The NPR Planet Money Podcast, are the people here from that? If not, I will accept on behalf of Dr. Drew. Congratulations to the NPR Money Podcast. All right, next category. Here we go. You having fun? Of course you are. Comedy. Best Comedy Podcast. Here we go. Comedy Button, your nominees begin with. The Comedy Forecast, Humble and Fred Radio, Janie Godley's podcast. Did I pronounce that properly? Janie Godley? Awesome. She's not here. Jim and Them, The Adam Carolla Show. He couldn't make it either. The Bugle, The Morning Stream, The Morning Stream, The Ramen Noodle Clean Comedy, and just to balance out the clean comedy, X What the Fuck with Mark Maron. And the winner is The Morning Stream. Fantastic. Thank you. Oh, he's bringing his iPad for the selfie. Awesome. You know, you don't get any better picture with the iPad camera just because it's a bigger device. There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wish my mom could have been here to see this, but she's down at Lots of Fun doing the Cleopatra Kino. No, seriously, on behalf of the Morning Stream, Scott Johnson, and the entire Frog Pants Network, thank you. Thanks to the listeners who voted for us. Thanks to the team behind the Podcast Awards. Thank you, Todd. Thanks to the other nominees. It's an honor to compete against giants. I mean, Mark Maron and Comedy Forecast and everybody. Ramen Noodle, I hear you. Podcasting really has a hell of a range. You can connect with thousands of people by discussing current events, or you can reach out and pull a single listener right out of their bad day by telling a personal story. And I bet that every podcaster in this room has had an experience somewhere in that range, and I bet that's why you do what you do. Thanks again to listeners all over the world. We really wouldn't be here tonight without your support. Thank you very much.
Morning Stream, everybody. Would you do me a favor? Keep that applause going for our lovely Megan Enlow, who is walking back and forth between the table and this mark on the stage, bringing me the trophies that you're all going to take home. All right. In the category of cultural and arts, the nominees are Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast, Anime Pulse, Major Spoilers, NPR Pop Culture Happy Hour, Stuff You Missed in History Class, Sword and Laser, The Combat Jack Show, Theater Geeks, hello, This American Life, and the Veteran Empire Podcast. And your winner is This American Life. Was Ira here? Did he make it from the East Coast? I will accept on behalf of Ira. How's that? Oh, I don't get to accept and make a speech on behalf of no, I'm kidding. All right, so your winner is This American Life. Fantastic. You having a good time so far? Should we start doing the drum roll when we do the... Wow, I didn't even ask for applause. I was going to ask for raise your hand and say, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, fantastic. I have some stuff in the back that I will be selling later. Some towels from my room upstairs. In the education category, your nominees for the Podcast Awards are the Caustic Soda, let's take it from the top. The Caustic Soda Podcast, Grammar Girl, Quick and Dirty Tips, MuggleNet Academia, School Sucks Project, Simple Life Together. What did you say, sir? Unintended and undesired? What? Smart People Podcast. Did I say the Simple Life Together? Smart People Podcast. The British History Podcast. Are you British? Why are you British? That's brilliant. The History Chicks. The podcast history of our world and the public speaker. And your winner is Grammar Girl. Look at you, Pikachu. There you go.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. My heart is pounding. Thank you to the fans, everyone who nominated and voted. I'm so excited that you don't know how to use a semicolon and you care enough to listen to my show after all these years. Thank you to Kathy Doyle and the whole team at Macmillan, who is my partner in the whole Quick and Dirty Tips podcast network. Thank you to my guest writers. I use a lot of guest writers now to help me keep the show interesting and fresh, and I couldn't do it without them. And I guess finally, thank you to my husband, Patrick, who doesn't care at all about grammar, and so I had to find somebody else to talk to about it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I was vindicated yesterday. I walk around telling people don't say the word often. It's often. It rhymes with soften. And it was lovely at the that little Atlantic City get-together yesterday when I met Megan, sorry. Who? Okay, Mignon, thank you. And the people from the publishers. And we discussed often. And we confirmed that often was actually the way to pronounce that word. So the next time you hear somebody say often, take the moment to correct them and then duck when they swing. In the entertainment category, your nominees are a podcast of ice and fire. Alohomora, is that right, how to pronounce that? Alohomora? Firewall and Iceberg. There's a lot of fire and ice going on here. Hollywood Babylon, get it? Mission Log, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. Survivor Talk with D&D. Taylor Talk, the Taylor Swift podcast. The Comic Book Cast. Unofficial One Piece podcast. And the Walking Dead cast. And ladies and gentlemen, your winner is the Walking Dead cast.
I just wrote this right over there. I'm going to make my acceptance a little bit informational if you want to know how to win a podcast award. Yeah? You go to Google, search on cute baby goat, and then you find the cutest, most baby goat with like the saddest eyes, put it on Facebook, and say, this baby goat wants you to vote. That's how I did it. Also, get a really good friend of yours who's an old friend. Invite her over, start talking about a subject that you love talking about anyway. Do that for like 3 years and have really good listeners that write in and call in, and then you actually become friends with some of them and enjoy what you're doing. Oh, excuse me. Let me breathe for a second. And that's it. So I want to thank all of our listeners who voted for us. We totally appreciate it. We love you guys. I want to thank Karen, who isn't here. I want to thank my wife over there, who's very supportive, and thank all you guys.
Congratulations. All right, now the next category is food and drink. Who's hungry? Who's thirsty? Your nominees are Alcohollywood, Dining with Doug and Karen, Mike and Tom Eat Snacks, I am not making these up. These are actual nominees. Mommy's Cocktail Hour, Nutrition. You know, my mom used to drink rum and Coke like this. She'd pour some rum into a glass over rocks, and then she'd take an unopened bottle of Coca-Cola and wave it over the top and say, "That's good." Mommy's Cocktail Hour, Nutrition Diva. It's a smattering. That's called a smattering right there. Our Hen House, Should I Drink That? The Beerists Podcast, The Splendid Table, and Wine for Normal People. As a former sommelier, I have a winner in the race. Here is your winner. In the food and drink category, it is the Beerists Podcast. Are the Beerists here? You know where the Beerists are right now? Gordon Biersch tapping a keg. We will accept the honor on their behalf for the Beerists. Give them a big round of applause, the Beerist keg. All right, the next category is gaming, one that's near and dear to my heart, gaming podcasts. Anybody been to E3 lately? Oh, yeah. Gamertag Radio, these are your nominees. Gamertag Radio, Giant Bombcast, Polycast, Priority One Podcast, the Rooster Teeth Podcast. One day we're going to drop the word podcast from the titles of our podcasts. The Final Score, The Independent Characters, The Instance, The Shaft, and Trinity Force. And your winner is the Rooster Teeth Podcast. Where are you? I am going home with so many awards tonight. I promise I'll give them to the... Sure, I will. One more time, give a round of applause to the Rooster Teeth Podcast. The next category is your general category. Now, I personally prefer Patton. There are some that prefer Custer. Yeah, you come up with stuff on the fly. Think you're so smart? Here are your nominees in the general category. Airline Pilot Guy. Greetings from Nowhere. The Internet Box. Manic Mommies, who are now drinking. Pod Quiz. Pretty Good Podcast. Reality Check. Satellite Sisters. Love the Satellite Sisters. School of Podcasting. And Success Freaks. And your winner is the Internet Box Podcast. Are they with us? It's okay. My mantle at home is just going to be lined with awards. No Internet Box Podcast? All right. Give them one more round of applause for the people at home. Wow, look at all those awards over there. That's fantastic. All right. Your next category, gay, lesbian, bi, transgender, GLBT community. Bend over and take it. Your nominees begin with that kind of list. It's going to be a fun 5 minutes, folks. Cocktails and cream puffs. Feast of fun. You know what there should be? There should be a category for best named podcast. Or a best category of names of podcasts. That would be great. Flaming Freedom. Did I say Feast of Fun? I think I did. Flaming Freedom, the Gay Ambition Podcast. Homo Ground. PNS Explosion, which if you pronounce all of those words, all of those letters together, you get pins. Scream Queens Horror Podcast. This show is so gay. And finally, Throwing Shade. And your winner is Throwing Shade. I will accept on behalf of Throwing Shade. Yes, I will. All right, your next category in the Podcast Awards, health and fitness. How many of you want to lose a lot of weight? Raise your hand and say, oh yeah. All right. Here are your nominees: Diet Science, Elsie's Yoga Class. I just want to say it again. Elsie's Yoga Class. I like that. It was like a recording. It was exactly the same. Get Fit Guide, Journal Talk, Magical Medical Tour. Magical Medical Tour. Mighty Cast, The Runner Academy, The Angriest Trainer. The Extra Mile Podcast. That didn't sound very angry at all. That sounded like the most enthusiastic trainer. The Extra Mile Podcast and The Fat Burning Man. And your winner is The Fat Burning Man Show. Thank you. There you go. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
You bet. I hate him.
Sorry. Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you to all of you who are podcasters out there. You really can change the world just with a microphone at your desk, and I think that's absolutely incredible. Not only that, it's starting, like you said, to go into video. We're taking over TV as well. This is incredible. But as a thank you, I would just love to thank, firstly, all of the people who pitched in for the nominations and all of my loyal listeners as well. I couldn't do any of this without you guys. I'd also like to thank Emily, Raleigh, and everyone on the FBM team, my lovely lady Allison, mom and dad, and especially all of you guys for coming out here. I couldn't do any of this without you, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks again.
I no longer have the use of my right hand. Thanks, Fat Burning Man. All right. Your next category is mature. How many of you in here are in AARP? Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, not that kind of mature. Got it, sorry. How many of you have a sex problem? Here are your nominees: Dating Skills Review, Distorted View, Drunk Cast, Polyamory Weekly, which actually puts out 2 or more podcast episodes every week, Risk Show, Savage Lovecast, Sex Nerd Sandra. You know, when I was doing podcasts back in the 90s, it was all about Windows and how bad it sucked versus the Mac. Sex Nerd Sandra. Is it Sandra or Sandra? Sandra, I got it right. Absolutely amazing. Sex with Emily. I have a question. Was that a comment on the sex you had with Emily, or was that the podcast you were screaming about? Sick and Wrong, and finally, Swinger Cast. And your winner is Savage Lovecast. I predicted that none of the nominees would be coming up to accept the award because they're in the middle of having high-risk sex. So I will accept the award and we'll get it to the Savage Lovecast folks. Wow, does that say episode 375? How savage can your love be? I am definitely in need of a podcast. Your next category in the Podcast Awards, movies and films. And your nominees are the Animation Addicts Podcast. Does that mean they were nominated in more than one category? Didn't we see them before in one of them? No? Yeah. Doug Loves Movies. Film Sack, which is where Emily is having sex right now. How did this get made? Is it a bicycle? Movie Spoilers, The Daily Spill, The Flop House, The Hollywood Outsider, and We Hate Movies. And your winner is Film Sack. Great. Is Emily in there? Thank you, Megan. Wow, you look familiar.
I know, there's a lot of us bald guys around here. Thank you, Puppet Master. 5 of you, awesome. First season, though. On behalf, I'll keep this short because I was already up here and I had my time and I might get a boner or something. But on behalf of Randy and Brian and Scott and me, big thanks, and thanks to the Tadpole, the Frog Pants family, and everybody who voted for us and everybody here tonight who's cheering us on. So thank you very much.
All right. So Brian's been up here a couple of times. You do? You still have 2 more nominations, do you? Huh. Well, aren't we confident? In the category of PodSafe Music, your nominees are All Songs Considered, The Americana Music Show, Coverville. What is that, you? Do I even need to go on with the rest of the nominees? I don't know. Friday Night Dance Party, Hardstyle Team Podcast, The Irish and Celtic, not Celtic, even if you're from Boston, The Irish and Celtic Music, Jonah Radio, Livewire Podcast Radio, the Americana Rock Mix, and the Bugcast. And your winner is, come on up, Brian. Coverville is your winner. Look at you having to walk back up on stage. Thank you. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Who wants the... You're going to take it? Yeah.
Just for now.
Such a greedy bastard.
You ready? Okay. Okay, well this is the one that kind of got it all started. This is the show that I'm kind of known for. That kind of started the whole podcasting thing. It's like when you start one podcast, it makes you want to start a bunch of them. So obviously I've started a bunch of them, but or been asked to be part of a bunch of them. Again, I want to say thank you. Right, you're ahead of the game on that one. I want to say thank you, and from the lucky rub of the Buddha's Valley. No, thank you very much. Thank you for this.
So Brian's last name is Ibbott, is that right? So like what, your parents were like, screw the Abbott, we're gonna make it Ibbott. Little change here and there, it's a vowel. Brian. All right, in your politics and news category, the nominees are the American Conservative University, Common Sense with Dan Carlin, Congressional Dish, Democracy Now!, Electric Politics, Free Talk Live, Free Domain Radio, No Agenda, and the Slate Political Gab Fest. And your winner in the politics and news category, The Majority Report with Sam Seder. It's not just a last name, it's a way to celebrate the weekend. What, is he here? Is Sam here? No? All right, well, Sam, you can pick it up Friday night after sundown. Our next category, what? What? No, during Seder. Violate all the rules. They've got that place in Tel Aviv where you can buy all these contraptions that help you violate the rules of Seder, and this, I swear to God, they have like this device that has like 6 different wooden pieces to it, and you press one piece and they all press the other pieces, and it flips the light switch on. You think I'm kidding? Somebody go find out and tell me that I'm wrong. All right, religion inspiration, speaking of which, Baruch atah Adonai Elohei. A survival guide for Christian men. Are you just watching? Apparently they are. Catholic vitamins, feeding my faith, inappropriate conversations, more than one lesson, Mormon Faircast. Is that produced by the same people about the polyamory stuff? No? Okay. Just checking. I'm geotagging the podcasts. You shut up. The Break with Father Roderick. You know, if they did this at the Academy Awards, people go, really? Did George Clooney just scream out, yeah? The Sci-Fi Christian and Zencast. And your winner is the Mormon Faircast. Are you with us? Fantastic. That's great. I'd like you to note that he's the only person accepting an award that's wearing a suit. How are you, sir? Nice to see you.
I didn't want to make you look bad.
I understand. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
You know, last year an atheist group won this category, which seems like the fox guarding the chicken coop. But yes, I'm glad to accept this award on behalf of Faircast, the Mormon. You know what? It's killing me here, and it's even being recorded.
Maybe we're being pranked.
Mormon Faircast. No. Trust me. I do want to thank
That's what
Bill
the pranksters
Reel
say.
and Nick
Trust me.
Skarsbrick and Martin Tanner for their great effort on Mormon Faircast. So thank you.
When does the streaker come by? I mean, isn't it? No. Oh, no, Todd. I think if people had a vote, they probably would say, we'll pass. A little bit more votes if I decided to do it. We'd pass. Does it look to anybody else in the rooms like the walls are frowning? You know, this thought occurred to me as I was doing one of my sessions. And I had to really pull back and go, okay, I'm talking about pitching to somebody for a web series. Let's get back to that, not that the walls are frowning. All right, here in your science category are your nominees. Blame It on Outer Space, Everyday Einstein, Quirks and Quarks, Radiolab, Science Friday, Star Talk, the Brain Science Podcast, The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, This Week in Science, and Weather Brains. And your winner is Radiolab. Hey, Mormon guy, you want to come up and accept for them? No? I'll take it. No problem. All right. There's your category winner is Radiolab. In the sports category, here are your nominees. AmeriCarnage, Bang Radio Hour. That's in the sports category? Okay. CBSSports.com Fantasy Football Today podcast, who also wins the award for the longest title. Dear Mr. Fantasy Baseball Podcast, ESPN, Fantasy Focus Baseball, Hang Up and Listen. Somebody who titled that podcast used to work in talk radio. Hang Up and Listen, Ivy Envy, the Puck Podcast, Sports and Torts, and the Who Day Weekly. And your winner is the ESPN Fantasy Focus Baseball Podcast. I got a dinner to go to. Let's go. He slowed down. Did you notice that?
You know, the walls were smiling before you started.
That's right.
I was going to be nice, and then he insulted my gait up here.
That's my job, sir.
Jay Soderberg, our producer. I'm Matthew Berry, one of the hosts. Jay.
This one, no, this one's yours. Remember, I don't accept this one.
We're thrilled and honored when we started this podcast 7 years ago. We just hoped ESPN wouldn't fire us. It took them a little while to figure out what we were actually doing, and luckily by then we had enough fans and listeners that they wanted to fire us, but they couldn't. So thank you to the wise and sage like Mark Harine for his initial belief, Keith Gorowski and everyone in ESPN Digital Audio, my co-host Nate Ravitz, who is not here, Stefania Bell, our injury analyst, Eric Carabell and Tristan Cockroft, who filled in on Fridays because Nate and I were too busy to phone it in on Fridays. When I started my career, I thought fantasy sports should be fun. It shouldn't just be nerds talking to nerds about stats, and we're thrilled that our brand of goofy humor, nonsense, and fantasy advice, mediocre fantasy advice, I should add, has found an audience. So this means a lot. Thank you very much.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Benet. Hi, kids.
May I be serious for just a moment? The next category is technology, and I want us all to take this very seriously. But I want you to know about a book that one of their co-workers wrote, Mike Fenaro-Wada and Steve Fenaro, called League of Denial. It's a book about the concussion crisis in the NFL, and I had the real joy of voicing the audiobook for League of Denial. It's worth reading or listening to. I hope that our kids are safe after you read this book, okay? All right. In the technology category, your nominees are Nerdzilla, Security Now, Steve, Stolen Droids Podcast, Tech News Today, The Audacity to Podcast, the Computer Tutor Podcast, the MacCast, the Vergecast, the Waves of Tech, and This Week in Tech. And your winner is Tech News Today. Where is Tech News Today? Not here. I will accept on behalf of, I've got too many, you accept. You accept, go. All right, our next category is travel. And I had a chance to talk to some travel podcasters yesterday who were so embarrassed about how many perks they get. It was like, yeah, I called them up and I said, hey, we'd like to come out and see the place and I have some viewers and blah, blah, blah. And you should have seen the room I was in. So this is great. Here's your nominees in the travel category. Amateur Traveler, Destination WDW, Living the RV Dream, Mouse Chat, Mousetalgia. There seems to be a pattern. The Be Our Guest Podcast, The Bowery Boys, The Diz Unplugged, WDW Radio, and Wedway Radio. This category brought to you by Disney. And your winner is WDW Radio. Where's Lou? I'm looking for Lou. Where's Lou? God, you are like slower than the ESPN guys. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you guys so much. First and foremost, it truly is an honor to be nominated alongside so many great podcasters, Disney and otherwise, Chris Christensen and so many other great people. Thanks to Todd Cochran and Cliff and everybody over at NMX. Really, the big thanks goes to my family, my immediate family, and my extended family, because that's what I consider my listeners. I've said from the beginning, this is all about you guys. You guys are my friends, you're not my fans, and this means a lot, and this is all for you. So thank you guys so much.
I love the idea that we can send messages to each other at any time from any place. I'm up here on stage. My girlfriend is actually sitting in the audience, and by the way, the root of that sentence is that I have a girlfriend. She just tweeted at me, hey, when you get a chance, could you check into our flights tomorrow night? I'm working here. The Best Produced Podcast. Here's your category nominees. The Caustic Soda Podcast, Destination WDW, Gamer Tag Radio, Hogwarts Radio, Know How, Once, the Once Upon a Time Podcast, Priority One Podcast, Radio Lab, Rob Has a Podcast, and The Walking Dead Cast. And your winner is Rob Has a Podcast. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is big. This is big.
I know, the awards are getting bigger.
All right, I didn't have two speeches ready. I don't even know what to say. That I've been doing Rob Has a Podcast for 4 years, and it's always just been, doing it as a hobby, and I've always been working, part-time, or I worked full-time all year long, and I still did like 200 podcasts this year. In December, I got laid off from the company that I was working at. They laid off my whole department, and I'm about to go and do Rob Has a Podcast and podcasting full-time. And so many people in this room have been so important on that journey, and I'm so excited, and this is such a dream come true. Thank you to everybody that voted, and thank you to everybody here. Thank you, guys.
All right, your People's Choice Award. Now, this is a very special award because this spans all the categories, right? And it's your votes. Remember, we had some numbers up there earlier, 11 million people voting. So these are the People's Choice nominees. Alohomora, Beyond the To-Do List, ESPN Fantasy Focus Baseball, Manager Tools, No Agenda, Satellite Sisters, Simple Life Together, Taylor Talk, the Taylor Swift Podcast. If you ever piss her off, she's going to write a song about you. The Majority Report, and The Morning Stream. And your winner is, in the People's Choice category, The Morning Stream. Congratulations. Yeah. Just want to make it clear we don't have trophies for everyone.
We can put this down. I had to bring up for this one some of the great guests that we have on every week, and the people who help make it so that you can hear the morning stream. Todd Gnomewise, who streams everything out. Nicole comes on Wednesdays. And then Chinbeard and Steven Schleicher, Bill Duran, sorry, who come on Mondays, and our guests, I'm sorry, you come on Tuesdays, our guests on the show. I'm a little flustered here, and I still don't have a boner, but we're going to keep, I wanted to read out a couple, or a little something that somebody submitted. Whatthewordmean.biz defines award as some kind of a prize or something handed to winners of stuff. So from the bottom of my heart, Scott Johnson and I would like to thank you all for this award. You have truly made us feel like winners of stuff. We'd like to thank the listeners. Collectively, you've come to fill that attention-starved void in our lives. Thanks to you, I no longer need to be that guy, the show-off screaming, "Look at me, everyone." Thanks to you, I dress more modestly, I leave the pyrotechnics to the experts, and I only perform my interpretive dance when it's appropriate. I thank you, dear listeners, and my wife thanks you as well. This is truly an honor. Winning a podcasting award is like a sudden subjunctival hemorrhage to the eye. You're never expecting it, so you're surprised when it happens. So I think what I'm trying to say is thank you. And big thanks to James and Ken for also helping with these acceptance speeches. I didn't think we'd get to use them, but we did. So thank you very much.
That is fantastic. Aren't they all great winners? And only because I think there may be some millennials in the room. I just want them to know that if you feel uncomfortable, it's because there actually are winners and losers. in this world. Notice how not everybody in each category got an award just for showing up or having mom and dad drive you here, right? Yeah? Okay. Let's take that as a lesson learned, all right? How about a big round of applause for all of our winners this evening, huh? Has Emily finished the sex in the sack yet? I'm just checking. No? All right, great. That's why she was nominated. I want to thank you very much for coming here this evening. Before we end the festivities tonight, I want to turn it back over to Todd Cochran, everybody. Give him a big round of applause.
I think we should give David a warm round of applause, too. So, you know, I know not everyone can be a winner, but if you were nominated, congratulations. It's a tough gig to get nominated for this, and you know, the process is not perfect. Sometimes we get criticized on the process, but I challenge anyone to put one of these on and do what we do year after year. But congratulations to everyone that was nominated, and we hopefully we're going to have a live copy, or actually a copy of the video tonight. We'll put it up on the Podcast Awards website where people can grab some clips if they want. But the 10th annual will kick off sometime midsummer. It all depends on where this show is going to be next year and when. And I hope it's right back here in Vegas. But I want to thank everyone for their participation. Of course, the sponsors as well, corporate sponsors, Cliff and Podcast Answer Man. Thank you for your corporate sponsorship. And of course, the folks from Cashfly as well for their support, and of course all the podcasters as well. But this is a labor of love for me to do for all the podcasters, and I appreciate all of you for getting your audiences engaged. And I know it's a big task to ask them for nominations and to vote at the end. And of course, a warm thank you to New Media Expo and all their hard work for this, bring this on. And obviously, we all wish Dr. Drew had been here, but I think David did a great job in his stead. So thank you so much, everybody.
17.
Okay, real quick, I want to apologize to Todd because I was supposed to tell you guys Dr. Drew didn't show up. So sorry about that, Todd, and thank you for catching that. And people noticed that he wasn't here. And
what?
David H. Lawrence, the 17th, fantastic man.
Thank you.
Great job. Would you guys like to have David back next year? Could he do this again?
Okay, but I insist that next year NMX pays for the tux.
It's a deal. Done.
And
right.
I get to meet everybody in the category of mature. Wait, there's more. You know those rooms that you pass when you come down to the convention area that they, like if you talk to the casino host, this is my home hotel, by the way. I love the Rio. I love the Hera group of hotels. And whenever I come to Vegas, I usually stay here. But there are a set of rooms in that hallway that lead down past the spa and that you will never, ever stay in.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
if you're Marshall Silver,
well, you
will never stay in those rooms. They are incredibly cool, and I insist.
I've asked for those rooms before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To get them?
No.
No.
I would love to have a party in there, and I'm forgetting the celebrity's name who stays there. Anyway, not the whole thing's up. Thank you again so much, David. Todd, you have something to say? Before you do, what's that?
Pick up their boxes.
Oh, pick up your box. Please, winners, pick up your boxes to get your awards home safely. Todd, please give him a big round for keeping the Podcast Awards around for so long and alive. Next year will be our 10th year. That's a decade. Leo Laporte, we know, hosted the awards last year. He really wanted to be here. He just couldn't. He had a conflict. He will be here tomorrow morning for the morning keynote, 9 a.m. It'll be Leo, Norm Pattis from Podcast One, and Noah Shannock from Stitcher Radio. I'm really interested to see this keynote. Does anybody in the room not know who Norm is? Raise your hand. A few? So Norm started a company a few years ago called Westwood One Radio. He basically invented syndicated radio, Howard Stern, Rush Limbaugh, all those kind of guys. And he told me about a month and a half ago, he thinks podcasting will be as big or bigger than syndicated radio. And I said, well, you have to come talk at the show because of what you've done and now this investment in podcasting. I can't wait to hear what he says and what Noah has to say about the future of podcasting. I think 2013, a lot of people said was the year of podcasting. I think the next decade is going to be even more phenomenal than the last 10 years. So thank you to all you podcasters. Give yourselves a big hand, and let's go drink right across the hall. Free booze, so now you can leave.